What is up, guys? Julian's Way here, and in this video I want to talk about Akim the Beast Williams, and this guy does earn his name, and you know he's really one of the top guys now, and a guy to look out for to maybe crack into the top five this year. Here, I think he plays six, just ahead of the big Ian Valier, and he's even getting bigger. But it's not really about him. Of course, you saw the title. I'm gonna compare him to no other than the guy that took the time off and decided not to do the Olympia 2020 because he decided, he was just gonna clean up, take a break, and start back ponging the weights and doing his thing just to put on some quality size, and of course tune and bring up his body parts that he needs to bring up. James Hollings had, I started following this guy maybe a couple of weeks out of his show, and that was the Euro Spain Pro last year, where he competed with top guys that might be popular on social media like Regan Grimes, and then he went on to compete again ahead of Regan Grimes, winning the British Grand Prix. And this is basically a comparison that I'm going to do with Akim on prejudging for the Olympia versus James Hollins had in his last show, that he looked really damn good. Now, these two guys I really find as a really good matchup because they're about the same height, about the same kind of size, different structure, but they're both like mass monsters, man. They're both heavy hitters. They both train heavy. If you look at their training, I'm not going to get into who's stronger and all that. I do not know that, but these guys are really solid, and I think they're a great matchup. It's like two bears just from different parts of the world going head to head. I would really want to see these guys stand next to each other on this year's Olympia. And when it comes to the open division, I'm really excited to see what these guys look like. And there are other guys that like Ian and so on. I'm also excited to see what Ian will look like next to these guys. Maybe he does give them a run for their money. But I really think that James could be the dark force, but I'm not going to get into that. Just going to compare, even though the Olympia is a little while away and we do not know what these guys are going to look like when they dial in. So let me get right into it, do a comparison, and see what my thoughts are, and see how they match up, all right? So here we go. Front double biceps. Not the best of James here. He doesn't have a lot of front double biceps pick. So look at it here. These guys both look good. I do not know what I'll pick here. Akim's lats is flaring more. His waist looks a bit more tapered, and his biceps is big. I will give this one to Akim, at least here, even though James does look damn good. But I think the front double biceps for James might not be his best pose, so I'm going to give this one to Akim. Here's a little bit different here, even though it's in the gym, and I did edit it a little bit just to make it look a bit tan, just to be a little bit more fair. He looks a bit fuller here, James, but nevertheless I'm still going to give this one here to Akim because of his lats and his waist. He has that long torso kind of thing going on. I'm not really a fan of that. I think that's more like for physique, but nevertheless I still give it to him. And he does have some powerful arms, no doubt about that. Front lat spread. This one is a bit, I do not know. I would say I would want to give this one here to Akim again. And the conditioning on both of these guys are damn good. I think this was Akim, one of his best look, if not his best conditioned ever. I might be wrong about that, but I do not think I'm wrong about that. Look at his legs, his sweep. Akim does look good here. This might not be the best picture of James, but James looked damn good. Just that Akim has a little bit more tapered waist and that flaring lats. Alright, it's called a front lat spread. Now this here, I would say that both of these guys have good damn chest, but this is one of James' strong points, so I will give this here to James. He presents his chest more. You can see both of his chest. You can see the cross relations in his other chest and his left side chest, and also almost the same thing with Akim. And Akim with the glutes and his quad separation looks better, but it's a side chest, not a side leg. So I'm going to give this one here to James. Side triceps, I would give this one here. It's a close call. It maybe can go either ways, but I think I like how, even though the picture on James is a bit clearer, I give this one here to James with his side. He holds his stomach really well, a little better than Akim. But like I said, these are all picks, and Yeah, definitely. I would want to give this one to him, you know, but it's a little, I do not know, man. It could go maybe either ways, but I'll give that one to James. So that's like about 2-2 backlot spread. This one here, boy, yo, I do not know. I mean, they're both glutes, hamstrings are well defined. I would give this one here maybe to James. There's a look at a Cobra. You can see more a Cobra look, a big density, and there's lots more wrongness. It just looks a little bit more crazy. Not taking anything from Akim, but I'll give this one here to James. All right, backlot spread, back double biceps. I'll give this one here to James right off the bat because, like I said, I'm not a fan of this how Akim looks. I do not like it personally, and I think there is more. You can see more development and more separation there, and more conditioning, the development in James' back. So definitely, I will give it to James. On his shoulder, everything ties in damn good with his trapezius, and they both have good separation in hamstrings and glutes. But I'll definitely give that one to James. So I'll give both of that to James. This here, I would give this one here to James. I do not know if it's maybe the bad pick comparison of Akim, but I think James looks a little bit more dense here, a little bit better, even not taking it much from Akim. Maybe it's not the best shot, but I kind of like how James looks. James, I just think, looks better in that shot to me. And the front, well, not the front most muscular here. I would give this here to Akim. Akim, the shoulders are just popping more, even though James with his traps and all that, his chest is pumping. But I kind of think Akim looks better with his arms, his triceps, his delts. Even his legs are look well developed with the flare and so on. So I'll give this to Akim. So Akim, front double biceps, front lat spread, most muscular, back lat spread, back double biceps, side chest, side triceps, I'd give it to James. But you know, these are all picks. They both look damn good, and like I said, I'm excited to see what they will look like next to each other on the Olympia stage 2021. Hopefully that goes well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Also remember to please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell button for notifications. Until my next video, peace, take care, and stay safe.